The first time I logged on to Twitter was when my tennis coach required everyone on the team to do so. Although at first it seemed like a waste of time, I was eventually intrigued by the large platform with multiple viewpoints being expressed in a variety of topics. Henceforth, I began following popular accounts such as NASA, Google, Microsoft to juice up my Twitter feed. As the time went on, I also started to follow conservative political accounts as they typically aligned with my views. I soon began to notice a trend of conservative accounts complaining that Twitter was actively suppressing their accounts as a whole. This begged me to ask the question, is there really free speech on Twitter? To express my findings, I created a visual representation of my conclusion. In this representation, Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, is holding a press conference in which a conservative and liberal reporter are present. The conservative reporter asks for a comment on recent allegations of political silencing, to which Jack Dorsey says, "No comment, next question." This response exemplifies the secrecy of Twitter. In the article, "Is Twitter Really Censoring Free Speech?" by Kalev Litaru, Twitter chooses to not respond to any questions regarding bias and censoring. For example, when asked about the possibility of unwritten rules or political bias in content review, Twitter neither denied nor confirmed this possibility, and proceeded to answer other questions. If Twitter doesn't respond to questions of bias, can we assume that bias is already present? Besides the reporter exchanging with Dorsey, there are also two tweets in the visual. These represent the polar opposites when it comes to the topic of Twitter bias. The first tweet shows a conservative complaining about a fellow conservative being banned by Twitter. This idea of silencing conservatives is also present in the article "Twitter is so liberal that its conservative employees don't feel safe to express their opinions," says CEO Jack Dorsey, written by Kurt Wagner. In this article, Wagner explains how Jack Dorsey noticed his conservative employees are being silenced and wishes to change that. If this is the case within Twitter, we can only assume this is how they handle the enforcement of their rules. The next tweet shows a liberal account calling for Twitter to ban another user. The reason for the request seems to be that the designated user has been spreading dangerous conspiracy theories, causing a breach in safety. This idea of safety over free speech is actually Dorsey's highest priority. In the article Jack Dorsey on Twitter's Role in Free Speech and Filter Bubbles, written by Nicholas Thompson, Dorsey revealed that he never intended for Twitter to revolve around free speech. Instead, Dorsey wanted Twitter to promote conversations by ensuring everyone's safety and ability to voice their opinions. In order to establish this safety, Dorsey saw it necessary to ban individuals that created unsafe environments. As I have shown in my visual representation, there are many different views when it comes to the possibility of bias within Twitter. However, it is too early to make any sort of conclusions due to the lack of firm evidence and the secrecy of Twitter. Without knowing the possibility of unwritten rules or bias systemic regulation, we can't determine whether or not Twitter has a bias when censoring certain users. Therefore, to answer my question, there isn't complete free speech, as with almost any social media. However, there is a possibility of conservative censorship that can't yet be confirmed.